Who is it?
Hey, dude,
Vinny!
are you there?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
my
here,
brother?
man.
How are you,
Dude, I don't
man?
have a scary story, man.
I'm gonna have pretty much a heart attack. I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't scream or anything. Basically, laying on the floor, panicking.
Oh!
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Oh!
You built the place. I haven't seen the Hopi in thousands of years. Don't make fun of my people. Period.
Sorry,
I'll pull out
grandfather.
your ass and cut you up into little bitty bits.
Facebook page down because people said Richie from Boston's gay. He's gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can prosecute me for that if you like. That's
No,
fine.
it's not why I'm doing that. I'm just
Well,
saying there's a lot
But
of...
that is what you did.
Bigelow started buying websites, including one in British Columbia, Canada. So all of a sudden, this kind of triggered Brian Vike.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. We've got a few UFO videos that we want to share with you.
Welcome back, everybody. Blake Cousins, along with Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins, we're going to be going over incredible imagery.
Third phase of moon. Third phase of moon.
Ten, nine, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Juju, and it is July 22nd. It's a Wednesday, and the year is 2026. Hope you guys are doing well as the week drones on. Drones! Yeah, they're out there. We're going to be talking about drones in the sky, 100,000 feet up, watching out for us, maybe gonna attack. Who knows? Drones. Yeah, they're everywhere. Drones are UFOs. Remember that. I told you they were gonna do that. And they did. Don't you remember last November? Or was that the last November? I can't. All the Novembers run together. So glad you could be here. We are going to talk about, well, false flags. False flags. We're going to throw it in there tonight. False flag alien invasion. Are we due now? Can we have it? I thought that was going to happen already in 2024. 25? Oh, it was 20. Is it going to? The end of this? Yeah, we'll see. It's coming. Yeah, and Project Bluebeam. Yeah, I'd like to see it in action. I think it's all a myth. Yeah. I think it's all lies. The whole shebang. No, it's all real. Everything's real. Nobody's lying. For 80 years, all of a sudden, we're just going to start telling the truth. Is that how it works? No, we don't investigate in UFOs. Roswell? Ha! Never heard of it. They have bodies? Area 50 who? 51? Where? You're kidding. In the desert? It is? You know, every time somebody mentions something, down the road we find out it's the truth. Well, I've been waiting for Werner von Braun's prediction. The last card is a false flag alien invasion. I got it right here. Here. And I'm going to give it to my white-haired sister-in-law, niece, whatever the frigonometry she is. And she'll tell you about it after I'm gone. I don't know why he sounded like that. Still waiting for that false flag. I know you are. I've got a ton of videos to play tonight. Not UFOs. People making claims we thought were ridiculous. Maybe turning out to be true. Thank you. Maybe turning out to be true. I was going to do this show tonight one way. I erased it. I didn't like it. So I just whipped up, for lack of a better term. I don't whip anything up. It's all planned. But tonight, we've got some really polarizing stuff. Yeah, you know, I asked the question, and we'll get the answer about Dr. Phil. How did he get involved in UFOs? Why is he now the voice of ufology somehow, sometime, some way? I'm Dr. Phil. People trust me. Oprah. I can't do Dr. Phil. But he was given early access to UFO files by the Trump administration. He says he needs to speak on the truth to lessen the anxiety for the people when the truth comes out about aliens. He's going to be the voice. Everybody calm down. It's all right. I'm bald. They're bald. You know, we're all the same, a little different. Well, that's my Dr. Phil. A lack of information creates anxiety. Somebody says the world's going to end. I want to know. How? When? How? Why? Was it me? Did I make Iran upset? Was it something I said? Is it because I bought that pillow? It may, it's got people saying, what's going on? And why are they hiding these things? I mean, we're just people too. 80 years. I want to know. Not only I don't want them misdirecting the information. I want to know directly, am I going to be, my sperm going to be taken from me? I think it has. My wife, he always talk, my wife. How is everybody? You guys doing all right? Everybody here? Who's here? Hey, we got the Chicken Coop Confidential. 3 C's are better than 2. Welcome to Paris. Diamo. How you do? Obama pretended poorly that he didn't know of Area 51. Obama didn't tell us he was married to a dude. Glenn Collins, how you doing? Michelle Obama is a man. Dr. Phil. I didn't say it. What do you say, Glenn? Christine, Kristen Elke is here. Welcome to Brian Yates, everybody. Brian Yates. Andy Cowley. Andy Cowley. Welcome to No, I didn't even watch it. That'll be for Friday or tomorrow. Rich, did you make it through the Corbell interview on Wi-Fi's basement? Nope. Forgot all about it. Yeah, I had to deal with a lot of stuff. I know. Today was just a rush. I didn't have enough time today for anything. Juge Anje, the angel of Goofon. Hoot, 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 hoot. Grimble Grumble. Every time I think of Grimble Grumble, I always think of something like a cake that, what do they call that cake that breaks up? What are they? It's a cake that is, what is it called? Crumb cake. I think Grimble Crumble. Yeah, I don't know why. Welcome to Skybade. How you doing, huh? All right. Good to see you, Skybird. 55. Ah, yes, I know the money. And they do trust me. They do. I know they do. What do you say, Bob Berkins? It looks like Bobberkins. What do you say, Bobberkins? I think the closer we get to whatever natural catastrophe is heading our way, the more Shiite they gonna throw against the wall. All right. If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. We do have a lot of show tonight. Really. UFO 91_1. What do you say out of your bees? Yeah. All right. This is our core. And I'm here for you tonight. Thank you for hanging out. If you want to help support the show, all the links are in the show description. You guys know what to do. Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. Become a member. All the links are in the show description. Everything just helps. Yeah, all right, bye. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Dr. Phil. Hey, you know what? Let's take a listen anyway. I don't think I played this.
Creates anxiety. It creates
He's saying what I just said.
People saying what's going on and why are they hiding this information from us, which they've been doing for almost 80 years now. And not only have they been hiding information, they've been misdirecting. I mean, we now see in these documents dating back to 1947 where they've been actively debunking things that they know are true. So not only have they been hiding the information, they've been saying, look, nothing to see here, folks, when in fact they've had major budget activity within agencies.
He's telling us everything we already know. Like, it's the first time he's saying it.
Investigating things while telling the American people there's nothing here.
Telling the Amera people, he's not even speaking correctly in this whole thing. Listen.
Investigating things while telling the American people there's...
The Amera people? Who the frig are they? Well, telling the Amera people.
Things while telling the American people.
He's pulling a Biden. It's just big. We're gonna go. Huh? Yeah. Factorville. All right. Well, I want to hear people who know things. Eddie Bravo has been a friend of Joe Rogan's for a very long time. He's a conspiracy theorist. I don't like that term. He's on the fringe, though. He believes in things you wouldn't normally believe in, like flat Earth, the firmament, two suns. The moon is a base. Well, it might be. So let's take a listen, because he's the one who said everybody called him crazy, but now he's saying he thinks everything is connected to Epstein. Why? I don't understand how it's all connected, but I guess he'll tell us. I really haven't watched this yet. It's a 4-minute clip.
I think everything that's going on right now in the world is linked to Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I think. I think
everything?
I think everything, man.
The Trump shit, everything?
Everything. Who's
UFOs?
connected? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you know,
yeah,
look,
all of it. All of it.
Since I met you, we've discussed UFOs. UFOs have been around. They've been talking about them since Jesus left Chicago.
Right.
But the last 3 fucking years, everybody's seen fucking UFOs.
Yeah.
How about that Miami shit? Come on. Come on, dog.
The people who did coke for 40 years.
Yeah.
That's what you saw. You didn't see no fucking aliens. But that's what they're selling all of. Now people from the Navy.
It's a distraction.
All of a sudden, all these pilots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going here and they were
so
driving
fake.
right next to me, waving
it's
at
so
me.
fake.
Really? And now you decide to fucking tell me.
This is what I think.
Tell me.
There's a lot of important people that were on that list, right?
Right.
A lot from all over the world.
Right.
Politics,
Music,
Hollywood, music,
actors.
You saw the list is out, dog. No ass right there.
No
Chris
athletes.
Tucker pretty much said it was real.
Yep.
Not that everybody on the list did shit. Who knows? It would be easy to, like you said, drag. Like if in the 90s or in the 2000s, if people would have liked my music and I would have had a record deal, thank God nobody liked it.
And somebody said, "Hey, you want to come to the island?
Let's go to an island, dog. There's a billionaire. He's got a bunch of bitches there. We're gonna party." I think I would have went, dog. You know what I mean? Then you go,
right. And you're talking to a scientist,
and then you're like, "Dude, people brought their kids." You're like, "No, dude, those are the bitches." Like, oh shit, I'd be on a fucking kayak, dog. I'd be on a fucking kayak. Where's Miami, dog? Listen, how far is Florida?
What do you think is the bitches? What do you think? What do you think this UFO thing is? What do you think the UFO?
I think
thing is?
okay, no. The
I'm
point
asking
is
Joey.
no. This is the point.
Okay,
this is the point.
okay.
My point is, the people that are on the list would rather, like, if they had a choice, you want to go to jail for this shit as a pedophile, or would you rather have World War III? Would you rather have fucking civil war? Would you rather have a fake alien invasion where the world changes, like the whole world changes right away? Where would you go? Would you rather go?
That makes no sense at all. Who's he talking about? Would you rather go to jail for a pedo, or would you like to have a World War III? What kind of logic is this guy? What does that even mean? Hey, if you don't want to go to jail, do you want to have World War III? Would you like to talk about aliens? We could change the whole world. What?
Guantanamo Bay? Would you rather go to prison, or would you rather have World War III Mad
so
Max alien invasion? That's what I think. World War III would save them. Alien invasion would save them, and a civil war will save them. So they want all that shit, dog. They want all that. They want complete chaos so they don't go to jail.
Oh, I see. All I had to do was wait 10 more seconds and I would have had my answer. That makes sense, though. How did I go from what's he talking about to, oh yeah, it makes sense. Because he's right. If there was a catastrophe, everything we know would change. We wouldn't care about the names in the Epstein file. We would all be getting toilet paper because the shit hit the fan. And we would want to survive. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, bro. I don't know why I said bro, but
that's what I think.
I don't like that the list only released 300 people. A lot more than 300 people on that fucking island. And I think they took the bottom hat. Like,
was there really 300 people on that list?
I don't know. That's what
I don't
heard.
know if the official list has been released, has it?
Yeah. No. Who knows? The list could be fake.
No.
The list could be fake.
They're just releasing a list, but they're still covering up the fucking...
But Chris Tucker, he basically said, he didn't deny it. He said, yeah.
Right. He said he flew with Jeffrey Epstein to Africa, but he didn't say he went to the island.
Exactly.
I think the people that went to the island, that's where things get real weird.
No, but you could go to the island and not know either.
And he also had a place in Manhattan. He was famous for having big parties at this house in Manhattan that he got from the guy who owned Victoria's Secrets.
The most expensive
guy gave
mansion.
him Guy gave him this
$75 million mansion.
There was other guys that were like these big hedge fund guys that gave him like $100 million. Gave it to him.
And they can't track why.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why he was so powerful.
Money. He did
and
a
then
great
also
job
Trump's on
helping
the
me with
list,
money.
but Trump was like, "Nah, we hitched a ride to Trump Towers."
What you got to look
Atlantic.
into.
As far as the names go, getting rid of the duplicates, John and Jane Doe placeholders. Once the redacted victim and minor identities and unnamed individuals were accounted for, the unsealed documents revealed roughly 150 to 180 individual names. Now, the broader files, flight logs, and the contact book, if including his infamous address book, the Black Book, pilot flight logs, and FBA investigative files, the total number of individuals referenced across all Epstein-related records exceeds 1,000 to 1,500 names. Pretty wild stuff.
What you got to look into is Ghislaine Maxwell was his partner, but Ghislaine Maxwell's father, or what the fuck, Ghislaine? Ghislaine. Look into her father, Robert Maxwell.
Yeah.
All the answers are right there.
Because he was a spy.
He's so funny. Oh my God, guys. It is one of those shows tonight. All right. How is Dr. Phil a UFO guy? Well, when asked how he became one of the first people shown the latest UFO documents, Dr. Phil pointed to his relationship with Donald Trump, members of the administration, and his work connected to the Presidential Commission for Religious Liberty. Yeah, he discusses wanting to maintain his independence and credibility, stating that he does not want to create a situation where he contradicts himself or loses the public's trust. What I don't want to do, and what I've made very clear that I will not do, is I don't want to get in what, at the risk of being a delicate, that's what it says. I don't want to create a Fauci moment. I'm not going to say one thing today and then be contradicted by something that is different tomorrow. All right, what does he say on Rose Cuckold? He's on Rose Cuckold show.
Dr. Phil, I know you are respected by the administration and you've engaged previously with Donald Trump himself. When the administration reached out to you, how did they tell you what you were being invited to look at? Take me through how that happened.
Well, I will. We, I have a relationship with President Trump and with many others in the administration. I serve on the Presidential Commission for Religious Liberty, and that involves the Department of Justice and other departments that have to do with constitutional rights. And I think they honor me with the belief that I'm a trusted voice in our country. I've been in the American media. There's been a lot of talk about UFOs and that sort of thing, all the way back into the 40s and 50s. But what made the press was always some guy that was too drunk to fish. He was out there kind of stumbling around, said he was abducted and anally probed and then let go. Now, I'm not so sure that was all by accident so much as it was to kind of deflect and get people that were legitimate say, I don't really want to be associated with that particular group of people reporting what they're seeing. But the whole time that was going on, we had credible people, military pilots, commercial pilots, people with trained instrumentation that were making observations that were being suppressed. In fact, they were being threatened with prison time, with substantial fines, with even with the Espionage Act, and they certainly know that that's in that all of that is contained in the documents that are going to be released. and the gun cameras, the radar tracks that are going to be released. And people are going to be saying, what the hell? We've been lied to about all this. We've been misdirected about this. It's like a psyop that we've seen previously in war. I think the reason they're giving me access to this is because they want me doing exactly what I'm doing. And I have maintained independence in what I'm doing. They're not scripting me. They're not telling me what to say or not say. They're just trusting me to be authentic, transparent, and candid with the American people. What I don't want to do, and what I've made very clear that I will not do, is I don't want to get in what, at the risk of being indelicate, I don't want to create a Fauci moment. I'm not going to say one thing today and then be contradicted by
something that's said tomorrow. Got it. But he will. He will tell us something, if not everything we've already heard from Dr. Phil. You and I have already heard. There's nothing new he said so far. It's weird. It's like he's being trained to say everything that we already know, get it out there again, so he's familiar with it. And then it also, in a way, because he's repeating what we've already known and heard, it almost sounds like, you can trust me. See, I know all this stuff too. It's a bullshit way to get him into the field and have people say, yeah, Dr. Phil knows his stuff. No, he doesn't know shit. That's why he's repeating everything we already know. It's to get him in the public view as if he knows what he's talking about. It's so obvious. It really is. I have so much stuff to talk about. I don't know what to do. I want to play something for you. Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, wow. That's weird. What do you guys say? Do you say all of a sudden or all the sudden? Just, I'm curious. If you say all of a sudden, put a 1 in the chat. If you say all the sudden, put a 2 in the chat, and I'll tell you why. Put a 1 if you say all of a sudden. All of a sudden, we were naked. Or do you say all of a sudden, we were naked? What do you say? I want to know. Put a 1 if you say all of a sudden, or a 2 if you say all of a sudden. I need to know this. Talking about false flag. I'll check your numbers here in a second. So, Stanley Kubrick has been blamed, for lack of a better term, for making the moon landing, creating a movie, and telling the public we really went to the moon. So 1, I see a 2, lots of ones. Well, I'll tell you why I brought that up. Seems like 99%, actually it's 92%. Grimble Grum seems to be the only one who says all of a sudden. The correct term is all of a sudden. I hear people saying it, and mainly the EBT community people. saying all of a sudden. The same people who say X and whiff and earth. You know who I mean. I was just curious if, you kind folks can give me an idea of what you say. It's all of a sudden. All right. All of a sudden is it's grammatically correct. I had a feeling. So Stanley Kubrick had an interview. And his interview was about a false flag alien invasion. Staging a false flag alien invasion. He had a warning for humanity. He said that the government has long-standing and highly detailed plans to stage an alien invasion and to unleash terror on the population. Now we have the tape to prove he said it. Why would he say that? Because they asked for his help. NASA planning staged alien invasion to create New World Order. It's going to happen. I think we're going to see it, if it does happen, next year. It might happen this year, but the reason I say next year, because of the elections, right? In 27, isn't that when they vote for the next president in November? Right? Isn't it next year or is it the year after? I forget. Now I'm confused. Well, anyway, it's going to be around that time. We heard a guy ask Alexa about Christmas this year, and Alexa said there will not be a celebration of Christmas this year. Why? Why would it say that? Very strange. So, little things like that stick its head out, makes me think a little bit like, all right, the signs are there. The signs are out there. But Stanley Kubrick, knowing about this when he knew, that's interesting.
A warning for humanity. He said the government has long-standing and highly detailed plans to stage an alien invasion and to unleash terror in the population. And now, we have the tape to prove it. Listen to what he says on that tape.
When the government starts talking about aliens seriously, that's when you should worry.
He tells us.
What happened? Which is now. Now the government's talking about aliens seriously.
They'll manufacture a crisis. Terror in the skies. A threat so immense that humanity will beg for protection. And from that fear will rise a single global government. Total control. The final cage. We knew this decades ago. He tried to tell us through his films. Through 2001. Through Eyes Wide Shut. Through every frame he ever shot. Now he's speaking directly. Exposing the real power structure and who really rules. And his message is simple. Do not underestimate how dangerous they really are. And do not believe a word they say. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and do not release until 20 years after my death. He died in 1999. 20 years came and went. Nothing. But Burglars died in 2023. And now, thanks to the estate, we have the full recording. On that tape, Kubrick reveals that he knew the day would come when the government and media would stop mocking so-called conspiracy theorists and start pandering to them. He saw the times we're living in now coming from a mile away. And on that bombshell tape that has just surfaced, he had a warning for humanity. Disclosure is a psyop. According to Kubrick, you can guarantee they will never willingly disclose the truth. They'll give you breadcrumbs. They'll give you non-human biologics and grainy footage. They'll let you think you're finally being told the truth. But the real truth, The one Kubrick died trying to show us is that the cage is still there.
Dorothy with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Dorothy. Welcome. I hope you're doing well, if I can speak. Thanks for covering this. False flag alien attack is nothing new. First stated in 2001 during Dr. Greer's Disclosure Project by Carol Rosen. Yeah, Carol Rosen. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, Carol Rosen. And thank you for that. And I am shocked that that's when it first came out. See, that 2001 Disclosure Project was man, if we didn't have 9/11, that would have been and was the perfect time to give it all up, to do what we're doing now, 3 years ago anyway. But it's sad that Greer got sidetracked by 9/11. But thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, I did not know that's when it first was stated. Interesting. Yeah, because Carol Rosen said it's the Werner von Braun said it's the final card. We already had the pandemic, but believe it or not, there's supposed to be another one this winter. Biden, I think, called it the Black Winter or Dark Winter. And maybe that's why Alexa said there won't be a celebration of Christmas. Because if we thought COVID was bad, it's supposed to put COVID to shame. What's going to happen? God, I hope not. But it is something that they will try to do. And I'm telling you, if they do this, if they try to close the country again and do that, nobody's going to believe it after what we found out about Coco. Right? I didn't believe in it the first time. I ain't definitely going to believe there's a scamdemic the second time. That's right, I said it. Scamdemic. It's my term. You can use it. Dorothy, thank you very much for the $5. And I can't say it enough. You are a continuing supporter of GoofOn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's hear what Kubrick finishes saying here. Or did he even say anything yet? This guy keeps, talking, but so do I.
They've just painted it to look like a window.
The public has a desperate need for narrative, for comfort. They watch Close Encounters and they see benevolent, spacefaring hippies. A fairy tale, but you don't direct a film like 2001 without learning the truth. The truth is pragmatic, grim. The entities that hold the leash on this planet aren't interested in our technology or our art. They are pastoralists. We are the herd.
Oh.
Then came Kubrick's darkest revelation. The revelation that explains the underlying theme in many of his movies, including his final masterpiece, the heavily censored Eyes Wide Shut. The non-human entities aren't here to help us. They're here for something far more disturbing. Our very essence, our souls.
They don't want our gold. They're not interested in our art. They want our souls, in a tangible, energetic sense. They harvest the emotional discharge of our wars, trauma, suffering, and deaths. They've engineered our religions, political systems, even linear time to keep us in a low vibration prison.
Now, as disclosure gains steam, as the federal government continues releasing classified documents, as even the mainstream media gets on board, Kubrick's message has never been more important. He said, you must understand something critical. We're being misled. Disclosure will not bring the truth. Listen, just quickly. If you're paying for a major VPN, cancel your subscription right now. Proton is compromised. ExpressVPN, CyberGhost, PIA, Surfshark, and more, they're all owned by one Tel Aviv company with ties to Israeli cyber intelligence. You're paying them to protect your privacy, and they're laughing at you. VP.net is different. /TPV. Happen if the real truth ever came out. genuine disclosure, reptilians harvesting souls, manipulating history, breeding among us. The public would be horrified and repulsed. We would rise up and fight them. They can't allow that. So instead, they give us a different story. An alien invasion, a common enemy, UFOs attacking our cities. The terrified masses will beg for protection, surrender their freedoms, accept a one-world government as the only salvation.
All this disclosure talk, it's not about truth. It's about preparation. Fake invasion. Ships in the sky. World begs for one government, one savior. And we'll give it to them. We always do. Hollywood, Washington, the UN. It's the same payroll. They keep you distracted, entertained, compliant. The reptilians don't need to pull strings anymore. They build the machine. We run it for them.
Kubrick wasn't the only genius who saw through the veil. One of those men was Jordan Maxwell. He understood the ancient text and symbolism. He knew the gods of old weren't mythological. They were administrative. Hybrid bloodlines, including the royal family, the Rothschilds and the Bushes, continue the tradition. A ruling class that has kept humanity in chains for millennia.
The whole human race is being misled by alien life forms who have come here from another place, who are smarter than we are, technologically superior, just way down the road, smarter than you'll ever be. And they know how to run civilizations, and they know how to start religions and governments. They call the shots because they have powers we don't have. Human sacrifice is a very powerful, real, legitimate, not of this world magic. And those people who are running Hollywood are connected to things you don't know anything about. And they have the power now to manipulate the world with motion pictures and television.
Who's orchestrating that in Hollywood?
All of that is being orchestrated out of Hollywood. But it's not because these people are so clever and resourceful and talented. No, they are connected to a power that is not of this world.
Kubrick had an answer to that question. An answer he buried deep in the narrative of Eyes Wide Shut. The movie that proved so dangerous to the elite, they've never allowed any of us to see Kubrick's version. Kubrick told Nicole Kidman during filming that psychopathic pedophiles run the world. As it turns out, Kidman only got a fraction of Kubrick's deep knowledge on the...
Excuse me? Oh my God. That is... That's crazy. Because that seems to be what's going on. Nicole Kidman, Stanley Kubrick said, pedos run the world. We know that's true. It sucks. That's why the Epstein files are connected to everything. Eddie Bravo said it. Could he be right? Boy, this is just, it is weird if you think about it. Now, in the last 10 years, 20 years, even all the way to 2001, you know, you can see all the breadcrumbs leading to where that goal line is. And we're just about there. It feels like it. Think about it. We had an uptick in 2016, 17, when Eleganzo came along with 2 Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences. That's when the shift took another turn. And they got us thinking, holy schmack, this is real, they're interdimensional, right? And then they switched it a little bit. They're not only interdimensional, they're demonic. They're not only demonic, but they live amongst us, and they're people you would never guess. They could be your sister, your mother, your best friend, president. I mean, we know it's not him, but it goes all the way to the top. That scares the Shiite out of me. Boy, that's crazy talk. And then we find out through the Epstein files that there was a whole lot of shit going on with pedo. Think about it. Think about all the people who were involved with that. And all the people who died for it, about it. because of it. Think about it. Those scientists who went missing recently, the last couple of years, what was their involvement? Were their names in the Epstein phone? So I'm just curious to know. It's very odd that he would say this, or she said it, that he said it in 2017. Go.
Nicole Kidman during filming that psychopathic pedophiles run the world. As it turns out, Kidman only got a fraction of Kubrick's deep knowledge on the subject. We've got more from the man himself, including the truth about why the elite prey on children, and the strange connection this has to the moon landing, and why he was asked to fake the footage.
It's the same reason the aliens abduct us when we're kids. I don't even know what that is. What is the reason? The only thing I could think of, I'll be in your head before you wake up. I don't think they got me to play in their little reindeer games. But I am. And I feel like there's something still special for me in this whole scheme that I can't quit. I can't get out. Yeah. It's weird. I'm fighting it all the time, but it seems lately I've been happy to be here. Happy to talk about everything again. It's almost as if there was a shift for me to want to be the voice that I always wanted to be, but we still have people keeping it down, suppressing the channel, suppressing my voice, people still striking me when I get the truth out. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Right after this important word from our sponsor.
Very confusing.
Think the healthiest thing in your pantry right now is some overpriced superfood?
Shut up.
Danger. Your health. How to spot the way. Few tidbits about UAPs and non-human biologics. Remember, they're showing you what they want you to see. The real truth. The one Kubrick tried to warn us about in every frame of his films is far darker and far closer than you think.
Here's what they don't want you to know. The reptilians didn't make us.
They need us.
We are something they could never replicate. Something they've been trying to steal for millennia. Our consciousness, our soul. They can't create what we have. So they do the next best thing. They harvest it. They feed on our fear. That's why they built every system, religion, government, media, to keep us small. Because if we ever remembered who we truly are, if we ever tapped into that full potential, they wouldn't stand a chance.
How? Well, I guess that's the secret. Is it that we're not living in a reality that we think we are? Just our mind is put in a prison? Like a matrix? Is that what they're doing with us? And they're harvesting our bodies just like they said in The Matrix, the movie, as we're 9-volt batteries? Not only that, our souls, our consciousness also create some energy, some sort of thing that they need that they can't get themselves. See, that's where you lose me. Because I don't know how that would look, what that would look like, how that works. How are they going to, take my soul and use it for something they need? What does that mean?
Jordan Maxwell agreed. As he explained, those are people who are running Hollywood and the political system and are connected to things most people are incapable of understanding.
But can we put a name to that higher power?
Well, I call it the spirit world.
Is that the Archons?
Yeah, the Archons. Yeah.
And the Muslims call them the jinn?
Yeah, that's exactly right, the jinns. And the Christians call them demons and devils. The Jews call them a different name.
So they are spirit beings?
Yes, they're spirit beings. And they're
not physical?
Not physical. They're spirit beings. They can work through reptilians.
And some reptilians and other alien species are physical and some are non-physical.
That's exactly right. But you need to understand that there is all over the earth a domination of the human family, of humans, by extraterrestrial or other world entities that you can't see.
But what does that mean? Nobody's telling me what it means.
Stanley Kubrick was telling the world that he knew about the dark power structures that control the world through his films for decades. He knew that the elite are non-human entities. He knew that the innocence of children was their main cause. Then they killed him.
Why? Why is it the main course? Because of their innocence and their vibrance, their vibrality, if that's a word? Because of their strong innocence? I just don't know.
He knew that the innocence of children was their main cause.
Oh.
Then they killed him.
But how? How are they using it? Like, if they take the innocence of children, how are they using it? In what way? Are they living in the mind of the child? And it doesn't make sense. How could a conscious being, other than our 9-volt vibe, how could our conscious and our soul be something that they could use? This has to be explained because they're all talking about it. They want our consciousness. It's all about consciousness. We hear it all the time. It's the consciousness and our soul. Great. That's great. But how? Why? What's so great about it? Well, they don't have it, so they want it. How are they going to use it? What are they going to use it for? If we have a false flag alien invasion, because it's not real, we will find out about it. Now, the cat's already out of the bag. So when the false flag, let's just say it happens. When it happens, there's a certain percentage of people, and they'll call us rebels, right? Who won't believe it. And then you'll just have your regular non-believers, and then you'll have half of the population believing it. So it'll be half and half pretty much. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on politically. It doesn't matter. This is about your belief in the afterlife and your religious beliefs and your alien belief. So when the false flag happens, we're going to have half of this population not believing and half believing. And then you're going to have a third of the population who knows the truth already. It ain't real. And they're going to tell people it's not real. It's Project Bluebeam or whatever they're going to call it. And they're going to say, but I'm looking right at it. But I know, so am I. It's not real. Listen to me. And you won't have time to explain. Their mind is already made up that that is real. That's an alien coming to get them. The fear will overtake them. And they will not be dealt with. You cannot change their minds. You will a few people, but generally half the planet's going to be taken, gone, and then the other half will be eliminated. But by whom? The government. The whole thing is about depopulation Earth and a one-world government. They don't want the whole entire planet. Remember the Georgia Guidestones? 500 million people left on Earth is in perpetuity with nature. That's how many people. They want less than 1 billion people. They want 500 million people on the Earth. The whole Earth. Right now we've got about, what, 8 billion? That's the jig. The jig? Yeah, the jig is up. So if it's a false flag alien invasion just to get a new world order and depopulate the planet, everything they're saying about demons, aliens, reptilians, it goes out the window because it's not happening. And then it'll be too late for the people who fell for it, the believers. They're already approving the one world order. But once they find out, it's too late. They'll accept it instead of being killed. They'll think the aliens will get them, and it'll never happen. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. At this point, I don't know how they would pull it off successfully. But they're trying. You heard it. You've watched it the last 3 years in congressional hearings, right? We've got biologics. They don't say alien pilots. They say biologics, non-human intelligence, non-human pilots. It's not alien to me. If Grush would have said these are aliens from another planet, or these are aliens from another dimension, then you got me a little bit in your back pocket. I'll listen now. But when you just say they're non-human intelligence, I'm thinking chimpanzee. I'm thinking, it's from Earth. The whole thing doesn't make sense. They went a little too fast, a little too far. And the thing is, it seems like they wanted to put this out to the world earlier, and we wound up getting that information before they can actually pull the plug on it. And now I think it's too late. Too many people know the truth, that it won't be real. And the only way they would make it real, and we've talked about this, is having the Project Bluebeam with drone technology, and the drones being, the bombs that the aliens are shooting at stuff. And, there'll be those type of drones. We're seeing it in the Iran war. Actually, I'll take that back. You're seeing it in the Russian war with Ukraine, and Ukraine using drones to bomb the shit out of Russia. They're going to use those same type of drones in the false flag alien invasion. We've already had a little peek last November. Was it last November? They were weird looking drones, I got to tell you.
They walk among senators, bankers, media moguls, human skin like a cheap suit. You felt that chill when you look into certain eyes and see nothing looking back. The Bible is their handbook, not ours. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days. Fallen angels taking human lives. That wasn't mythology. That was husbandry, a breeding program. They wrote the book, gave us the rules, and we've been following them ever since.
Everything, and I mean everything, is starting to come together now. From disclosure, to the depopulation of the world, to the creation of a one-world government and new world order. Check out this WikiLeaks email, one of the most astonishing leaked emails of all time. A meeting between Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell and John Podesta. The subjects? Extraterrestrial disclosure and zero-point energy. Think about that. Podesta, the man at the center of the Clinton machine, the man with ties to the deepest corridors of global power, was being briefed by an astronaut with knowledge of the disclosure psyop. Not to expose it, to manage it, to control the narrative. This is the evidence. The proof that disclosure is not about truth. It never was. It's about controlled release. The slow drip of information designed to pacify the public while the real agenda moves forward in the shadows. The more people from within the machine you speak to, the more obvious the whole agenda of silence becomes. Now, a camera operator from Stanley Kubrick's final film dropped a bombshell. Warner Brothers didn't just tweak Eyes Wide Shut after the director's suspicious death in 1999. They ripped out every scene exposing the elite paedophile rings and satanic rituals at the heart of the story, turning it into what he calls a bizarre non-story.
I used to work with him. He was a freelance cameraman. I worked a lot on very high-end stuff on drama at the BBC, and he got this job for 4 years with Stanley Kubrick. And we used to drink and in the bar, and he when the film came out, I said, "Wow, it looks amazing. Your work is incredible." He said, "It's not in the film." I said, "How do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was in New York the entire time, and I shot for 4 years. None of it's in the film. All they put in the film was Nicole Kidman and what's his name, and the studio just cobbled together a bizarre." Non-story stuff. That's not what the film was about, he said. I think there's more to that film than meets the eye.
Wow.
There was a hell of a lot more to that film than the studio allowed the public to see. It's the perfect title, Eyes Wide Shut. Describes exactly how the elite have conditioned humanity to live. Walking through life with eyes wide open, yet seeing nothing. The rituals, the masks, the secret societies, the child trafficking hidden behind gilded doors. Kubrick knew. He had seen the documents. He had met the men in the masks, and early in his career, he did their dirty work for them. He knew that if he told the truth directly, he'd end up like so many others who tried. So, he told it through art, through cinema, through layers of shadow and light.
I didn't know they recut it after his death.
Okay, so apparently
I think they finished it.
Well, that's the party line.
That's a version.
That's the party line. There's an entire thread that's kind of been squashed in that film, and that's the two men that are throughout the movie that are constantly in the background of the film, who eventually in the final shots of the film you see, like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in that final scene in the toy store when she's looking at the Rosemary's Baby bassinet, which is totally Kubrick saying something. And they never take their eyes off their daughter until the moment they take their eyes off and the final line of the movie is coming up. You see those two guys walking off with the daughter. They're taking her away. They've given their daughter to the pedo cult.
Yes.
That's what's happened at the end of the movie. And there's an incident where when they first screened the movie in England, people who were outside, this is all secondhand, by the way. There were people who were outside of the theater who could hear inside of the theater Kubrick yelling at all the executives and saying, "It's my movie, you can't cut it. You can't fucking cut my film, blah, 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 blah." Big argument going on. Then he dies like 4 days later.
Oh my gosh.
These are critical times. And here at the People's Voice, we're determined to expose the elite and hold them to account before it's too late. The truth isn't just information, it's liberation.
Wow. That was phenomenal. Yeah, I didn't know that's how it ended for him. That's crazy. That's crazy. Years ago on Coast to Coast, Art Bell, there was a caller called the Area 51 caller. Some people called him the crazy guy, the delusional guy. And, I remember listening to that when it happened, and it sounded legit. And then there was a part 2. That's the one where the guy's crying, they're gonna, they want to get us in and he's crying. He goes, "They're gonna get me." And it sounds legit. Then sometime later, down the road, months later, maybe 2, 6, I don't remember, the caller calls back to say it was him and it wasn't real. And he did the voice. He acted like he's crying again. And it sounded like him. Sounded like it was him. Some people think that the government got to him. Now, during that first call, when Art Bell was interviewing this guy, the guy just called in. And he said, "I don't have much time. They're going to triangulate my location and they're going to cut us short. So I want to tell you that the death of the aliens," and then he goes into it. And then all of a sudden, the satellite feed goes out at the radio station, wherever Art Bell did this. And it wasn't just like a power outage or something. Art Bell said what happened can't happen, but did happen, something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But it was pretty unbelievable that at that time, everything went black and the caller was gone. So I'm going to play that clip for you from the first time the caller called in. And, oh yeah, they called him the frantic caller. That's right. 7 minutes. This is pretty wild stuff. Now, it's 1997, 4 years before Greer had the Disclosure Project talking about false flags. So let's keep that in mind while we're listening. Here we go.
You're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
In some way, something knocked us off the air, and we're on a backup system now.
It's the government, or...
I don't know.
It has to be something, though.
Well, did you hear... Now, you tell me, because you were listening.
That was awful strange.
There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off?
Yeah. Real weirded out.
Like, going... Sort of sounding paranoid, schizophrenic?
Like crying and everything.
Yeah. And how far into the conversation was it when it went off?
Just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds.
I'd say.
Oh, you guys missed. You really missed the call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
Yeah. Because it was really strange. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Mark Furman, and
That's right. Well, the network, of course, went immediately to a backup tape while we tried to figure out what blew up here. So that's what you heard happen. And then we're now on a backup link system to be on the air at all right now. So, well, I'm telling you.
Am I on the air right now?
You're on the air right now. Well, you better be, yes.
And
where are you, by the way?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, I called the other night, and I wanted to ask two things.
Real quick.
Well, I wanted to say one thing, and I wanted to ask another.
Real quick.
I wanted to ask if you could play that remote viewing one when you were while you go to Egypt.
Yes.
And also, I wanted to know all this stuff about like Area 51, if it's like the government's trying to put it out there like that, so like some other places isn't being watched as much.
In other words, it's a big decoy. I see what you're saying here, and apparently we'll be back after the news, I think. Sandy Beach here, inviting. We lost all transmit capability on this end here in Nevada. The transmitter went belly up suddenly for some unknown reason. I've never seen it do this in all the years that we've been on the air. I have never seen the transmitter in this way just simply fail, massively fail, like a massive heart attack or some kind. And so we have gone to a backup system to get signal to you right now, and I presume it is getting to you right now.
You know, in all my years, I've never seen that happen where we have been knocked off the air. We're back up. I've never seen that happen. We better be back up. That was cool. Yeah. That guy had no perception of time. 20, 30 seconds. That was at least a minute and a half he was talking. Pretty wild, if you think about it. I want to show you a UFO video. This is pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this. Now, I'm trying to reason with myself and say, okay, it's drones. But I want you to take a look at this. You know, a lot of us have laser pointers. And anytime we see something in the sky, it doesn't really make sense, or it's hovering, we shine this beam at it, hoping we get a reaction. This is one of the few times got a reaction. So check this out. I don't know what it is, but something happened. Volume's on. Right on it. Well, watch what happens. Oh, there's someone else. Where'd he come from? Could it be a drone? What? There's another one? They're just appearing out of the sky. Now, you see how it's glittering like that? That's what it looked like to me the day I saw my very first fleet. You guys saw the egg.
You see that, Coach Q?
Right? Well, that was the precursor to me seeing what I called, it looked like popcorn just popping up in the sky. That's what it kind of looks like. So, I know, man, it's weird. But they just started popping up all over. As soon as he did that with the laser, he got this crazy reaction. And it looks like the laser is being sent back to him but unless that hit the tree branch and reflected back, I don't know how the laser beam would be retracted back to him. But nothing was mentioned like that. Just looks like it. Pretty wild stuff. I don't know what that is, but I like it because it reminds me of what I saw without the laser beam during the day. Now, there was another time where I saw what I thought were helicopters low in the sky, and I have this on video. And it's called the flashing lights because there was no other explanation for it. Same thing. And that was in 2004, 5. Way before this shit. I'm telling you, Uncle Richie has a lot of good stuff that I'm not putting out. Because I'm lazy. No, because they don't look good. It's weird. You have to have a regular old analog TV to have a good picture. It sucks. So I have this other video here. And it says a NASA scientist describing a protective AI layer above Earth. A protective AI layer above the Earth. To me, it sounds like there's some sort of protection from AI. Everything's now AI. Where was this 30 years ago? Right? Nobody saw. They just, what they call it, the firmament, or what? Now all of a sudden it's AI. It's really good. Anyway, Dr. Bia Villarreal, the research indicates what might be a vast drone network of objects operating around our planet, with the data potentially pointing to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of objects. And then there is the Sphere Network research, which presents a data-driven mathematical model explaining how such a network is structured, how it operates, and what its purpose appears to be. 3 totally separate lines of investigation from different parts of the world, all pointing in the same direction. Is the UFO community finally starting to wake up to this reality? Here is that interview, Patrick Jackson on X.
Me when we were talking about, probes. I think there's a former NASA guy named Stephen Dick who's part of Avi Loeb's Galileo project, who talks about this is sort of some sort of AI layer, like protective layer of Earth. And there's another guy, I think, named Patrick Jackson, who has like a sphere network theory. So yeah, I think the right thing to do is definitely to leave all options on the table. It's so hard to say and so hard to sense make around this. Again, going back to the top of our conversation, if the parapsychology stuff is at all real, all things are possible.
And I begin to, okay, wow, this cannot be true. Can this be reality? Is this right? But I was shocked. I was so shocked about it. Yeah. I mean, one UFO or transient, where you can see 2 or 3 or 4, but now we're talking about thousands, up to 10,000.
Yeah. Or even
so
political uncertainty.
So the question is, this transient, this object, what can it be? And how long have they been here? I mean, can it been here the whole time, perhaps?
Since
before the human beings?
I'm putting my bet on a surveillance network like Patrick Jackson's. Yes.
Yeah.
Like a drone network. Yeah, drone network.
Yeah. They have the eyes on us.
They're waiting to see when we leave the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? There's no way to prove these things.
No.
Yeah.
But have any thoughts about that?
I guess. I don't rule it out. We can just speculate. I mean, it sounds crazy. But I mean, if I look just at the data that we have, these are reflective objects, apparently in orbit before humans launched anything, and they seem to show interest in nuclear tests. It's hard to not consider the possibility that they are non-human artifacts of some kind.
I don't know, man. They're just up in the atmosphere above the earth. And we haven't seen them? Or are we seeing them? 100,000 objects wouldn't even come close to filling up the sky. That wouldn't even cover one state. Not even Rhode Island, 100,000. So it would take probably 1 billion objects of, drones to cover the planet or be of any risk. I don't know, but they're talking as if we're being watched by these, and not drones, but what they are calling drones are alien objects. UFOs, excuse me. Well, that about wraps it up for tonight. A little thought-provoking, I thought, tonight. That was fun. The false flag. Whether that happens or not, I explained it earlier. We're hip to it. But not everybody is. And they're banking on... If you think about all of us out there who listen to ufology podcasts, watch the videos, it's a very small percentage of the world population. It's probably 1% or less. Now, when it comes to UFOs, how many people visited the war.gov for the tranche, the drops? 1 billion hits. That's 1/8 of the planet. What is that? 15%? 13%? 10% of the planet, maybe? Let's just say 12.5% of the planet is on top of the UFO. I mean, that's a pretty big, but not big enough to where you have a false flag alien invasion. And you have the other 78, 82% that believe it's happening. We're doomed and they know it. It's not a lot. 85% of the planet will believe aliens have come and have taken over the planet, threatening to. And they'll use real drone technology mixed in with Project Bluebeam. They will take people out and lower the population to enough where they can control us under a new world order. Then, oh my God, I just thought of something. Okay, let's back up a little bit. If the new scamdemic happens, and we're all forced back in our homes. Like I said before, they had the perfect opportunity when we were all inside to do what they do. They know where we're at. Boom, 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 boom. Wipe us out. We're all at home. They may do it if they get us back in our homes. How many countries have Project Bluebeam working over their cities to convince every country there's an invasion? I don't know how they can do it. I just don't see it. They would have to have the ArcNet from Men in Black. They would have to. All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate you. Super chatters and people who love aliens and UFOs, the newcomers, the veterans, thank you for hanging out tonight and supporting GoofOn. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can still help support monetarily with PayPal and Cash App. All the links are in the show description. If you want to support Truthology for Ufology, that's the way you do it. And we'll be back tomorrow night with some more thought-provoking ufology and or paranormal activities around the world. The stories are real. The people are real. But are the aliens real? I don't know. All I know is if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Alien bless.